proud partner to the Love FM AFSA Walk, scheduled for 1st February 2020. This walk is very, very important and necessary because during the Christmas season, we ate a lot, drank a lot, chew a lot of fat into the system, and for that matter, we need to walk and burn some of the calories. I am coming, and I want everybody to join this exercise. I am also inviting everybody within the Kumasi metropolis, especially the people living within the municipality of Furikuru, precisely, to come and burn some of the fats. I will be there, and I want you to be there.
My name is Honorable Century, Regional Director, National Disaster Management Organization, Ashanti Region. Love FM Fitness Walk for the 2020 this year is coming on 1st February. Come and let us, all of us, work for health. My name is Honorable Century, Regional Director, National Disaster Management Organization, Ashanti Region. Love FM Fitness Walk for the 2020 this year is coming on 1st February. Come and let us, all of us, work for health. My name is Honorable Century, Regional Director, National Disaster Management Organization, Ashanti Region. Love FM Fitness Walk for the 2020 this year is coming on 1st February. Come and let us, all of us, work for health. My name is Honorable Century, Regional Director, National Disaster Management Organization, Ashanti Region. Love FM Fitness Walk for the 2020 this year is coming on 1st February. Come and let us, all of us, work for health.
The one side of the teacher, can you move this way? That's where it's a stretch. That's where it's a stretch. Please. And then let's get into the stretch so that we take it. Oh, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's a music. Please. Those are the teacher. Kind of wait, please. That's what it is. Can we say it walk out the whole boy? Oh, 1, 2. The one side of the teacher, can you move this way? That's where it's a stretch. That's where it's a stretch. Please. And then let's get into the stretch so that we take it. Oh, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's a music. Please. Those are the teacher. Kind of wait, please. That's what it is. Can we say it walk out the whole boy? Oh, 1, 2. The one side of the teacher, can you move this way? That's where it's a stretch. That's where it's a stretch. Please. And then let's get into the stretch so that we take it. Oh, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's a music. Please. Those are the teacher. Kind of wait, please. That's what it is. Can we say it walk out the whole boy? Oh, 1, 2. The one side of the teacher, can you move this way? That's where it's a stretch. That's where it's a stretch. Please. And then let's get into the stretch so that we take it. Oh, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's a music. Please. Those are the teacher. Kind of wait, please. That's what it is. Can we say it walk out the whole boy? Once I read the teacher, can you move this way? Let's finish with the straight. Let's finish with the straight, please. And then let's finish with the straight so that we take it. Oh, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's a please. Those are the teachers. Kind of wait, please. Let's finish with the straight. Can we say it to us on the whole board? Oh, 1, 2. Once I read the teacher, can you move this way? Let's finish with the straight. Let's finish with the straight, please. And then let's finish with the straight so that we take it. Oh, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's a ministry.
Motie bafo na minim setie bia no meti dwom de ene ye behwe ama bibia akokama na awie peyo medamase.
All right, so that was indeed during the ceremony. It was not after the ceremony where he had the opportunity to address, members there. That is where he shared the concerns of the Traditional Council or Nananom. Now, after this, the KMA has issued a statement. Now, I got a copy of the statement late last night around 11, and we want to share contents of the statement as released by the KMA with you. Now, the KMA, had this to say in the statement, and Nana J.C. Owusu will do us the honors by sharing, contents of that very statement with us. Nana, what does the statement say?
Okay, so David, the statement from the KMA, it says that the attention of the management of the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly has been drawn to a media report by one Isaac Bediako, Justice of StarFM.com, as captioned above. It says Otumfuo withdraws reps on KMA other assemblies. Now, the report is not only misleading, but a total misrepresentation of the statement made by the representative of Otumfuo II at the inauguration ceremony of the 8th Assembly of the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, who was chairman of the occasion. Now, Bafwa Sare Owusu Amankwetia the Sixth, in his statement, indicated that Menchia previously had 5 representatives among the government appointees to the assembly, and wondered why Menchia now has 1 or 2 representatives at KMA. Now, the Mayor, Honorable Osei Esibe Entry, quickly explained to Bafwa and the general public that Kumasi has now been split into 7 assemblies, namely Asokore Mampong Municipal, Tafo, Swame, Kwadaso, Asokwa, Oforikom, and the KMA. As a result, Menchia now has 1 representative each at all the municipal assemblies and 2 at KMA, making the total number of Menchia appointees 8 instead of the previous 5. Now, Bafo Asare Owusu Amankwetia the Sixth understood the explanation given by the mayor, and the program continued to successfully produce a presiding member to steer the affairs of the assembly in the next 2 years. So by this statement, they are calling on the general public to disregard the false report by the reporter, and it was signed by Metro Chief Executive Henrietta Efiakunedwabuaje, Public Relations Officer, for the Metro.
All right, so that's a statement from, the KMA trying to clear the air as to what really transpired yesterday. Now, that is not all, because other chiefs have been speaking, one of whom is Nana Amakum Hene, and we shall be bringing to you what his concerns and thoughts are in a bit. But again, we have been trying to get on the phone lines the General Secretary of NALAC. NALAC is the National Association of Local Authorities of Ghana, to speak to this very issue, because Nananom are concerned and they are worried because they feel that as it stands now, the numbers they have at the assembly makes them feel that they are not relevant anymore. But you and I know the power that they weigh when it comes to development, when it comes to everything in our communities. And so we're trying to get through to Mr. Kokro Amankwa to share some light on all that is happening. And so we're trying to get him to speak to us. But again, you'll be hearing from Amakum Hene in a bit. Now, he himself is not happy as to what is happening. And so let's bring that voice to you right now as to the concerns Nana Amakum Hene himself has.
Sabitiha, near inaugurate Asopa Assembly. Yeah, inviting. How? Obra Municipal Assembly, no? Asopa, ya baby Asopa, aya media. Maybe Chrome. Yes, see Assembly office for Honoma, minimum Hohe. I mean, Assembly being how was I say. It is for Mano, Ebedias, or different an animal. That's why I'm more fire respect to my end. Assembly need my wood yin now, your royalties 55%. And you did the assembly. Now, would you yegg? Now, young yeg will see mammo 55%. Now, see, she had to take decisions, not an anom, young fire, young higher. 81%. But you say, yes, for the I know what command to assembly deal with my lady. Your pensa, you may be assembly no AG, whom my yente. Yes, we are agents of development. The catch them assembly might be and how about yes, so yeah, man was as I say, was asking the hand for fire. No, Mubuta need to my dear demand. Mumabua, and man put you Embra, the Potemu, and put you in the ban anonymous assassin of our area. In just Ramo, containers now, body business, I am body assistant, a Kwahono.
Andrew, can you help us with a bit of the translation as to what Nana Amakum Hene was saying?
Yes, basically what Nana Amakum Hene was talking about is, he was complaining about the fact that Nananom the chiefs have been relegated or sidelined when it comes to, decision making and being part of decision making in the assembly. He also talked about the fact that, 55% of the royalties that is allocated to them have been given to the assembly or are being given to the assembly for developmental purposes. And he also talked about the fact that even lands, before the government can even possess lands, they have to seek permission or get it from the custodians of the land, that is the chiefs of the state. So he was baffled by the fact that they have been sidelined or moved to the periphery when it comes to developmental issues. And then he warned that if this continued, it would not augur well for the development of the people of Kumasi. All
right, so let's go on to the phone lines right now and speak to the General Secretary of NALAC. And like I said, NALAC is the National Association of Local Authorities of Ghana. And Mr. Kokro Amankwa is on the line. Mr. Amankwa, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
And I trust you're well?
By His grace.
All right, so yesterday we witnessed the inauguration of the newly elected members of the various metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies right here in Kumasi. But after the inauguration, we've had some concerns about the intentions of Nananum to withdraw their members on the various assembly. Now, how do you see the decision by Nananum?
Good morning to you and your cherished listeners. We are proud of Kumasi people and the contributions they've made to socio-economic development agenda of this nation. I believe that the issue or the concern that was raised was addressed at the assembly and before even the presiding member was elected. I think the chief was complaining about the reduction of representation that is coming from Nananum, to the assembly, which was explained that KMA has been split into municipalities. Some municipalities, I think.
There are about six of them, yeah.
6 of them, good. And that has actually caused the reduction of the representation at KMA. That the government appointees are calculated based on the electoral areas that we have. And so if at first KMA had X electoral areas and some has been carved out, obviously it will reduce the electoral areas that constitute KMA. And obviously it will reduce the government appointees that will go to KMA. And so the chief executive successfully explained that, and I think that it was understood and the processes went on.
So from where you sit and what you've observed, there's no big deal to this whole thing, that Nananum have understood the explanation given, and so therefore they would maintain representations on the assembly going forward?
Sure. As per the release that was made by the KMA, that was what it suggests to say. They were there with Nananum. They gave the explanation. The process went on. So as to whether they will continue or not, or whether they understood it or not, I think that will come from Nananum. That means very distant from them will not know whether they will. But for me, the explanation they gave was the right explanation, because government appointees are calculated based on the electoral areas. The electoral area of the assembly constitutes 70%, and the 30% comes from the appointment. And so if you have X electoral area constituting 70%, then obviously the 30% of government appointees will be affected by the electoral areas that we have. And so the more we have the electoral areas, the more the government appointees, and the less the electoral areas, the less the government appointees. And then I think that the KMA boss did very well to explain this. And I think that is the better explanation he could have given at that time. I believe Nanano will understand it.
But do you think that having issued a statement trying to explain issues, having even spoken and explained things on the day to Nananum, you think that is enough, or there should be more consultations?
I believe they will do that consultation, because you see, the assembly does not operate in isolation. Remember, it's local government. Nananum did indicate that they have supported the assembly in terms of land and other things. And so their contribution is critical. I am aware of the various support the chieftaincy or the kingdom has given to the assembly. It's undoubted. And KMA is aware of that. And so I don't think that, I think that the statement is to explain, it's a reaction to the publication that was done. I believe that the statement was not meant for Nananom. I believe that the consultation will be done.
Now, let's try and understand and, of course, also appreciate the contribution that Nananom bring to local governance in the country. During these stage, when they go to these assemblies, what is their role? What do they really do there?
You see, the district assembly is the totality of the municipality. The assembly represents the totality of the municipality, because the assembly has the mandate of the overall development of the municipality. So whatever contribution you give to the municipality, obviously you will give that to the assembly too, because it is the assembly's responsibility to do that. And so anybody that helps in that direction invariably also helps the assembly. We are aware, and we know, and you know, that in most of the times, even when there are controversies over issues, the Nananom come in to help the assembly to solve them. So their role, Nananom indicated, we can have land to put on whatever development we want to do if the traditional authorities are not there. You understand? And their personal and their professional, remember that Nananom to have learned people, and they are experts in their various areas, even before they became, they were installed. You understand? So they bring their professional and their chieftaincy to bear. You know, they are the authority. Nananom has gone even beyond local level to international level to solve things with internationally and nationally. And so their contribution, we can't enumerate them here. We all acknowledge that they have a very big role to play in the local governance system.
But from what you said again, as the General Secretary of NALAC, would you say that they've played their role well enough?
Yes.
And I'm not looking only here in the Ashanti region, I'm looking, nationwide. Do you think that Nananom have really played their role well enough?
Yeah, they are playing their role. It depends on where you stand and what you believe and the expectation you have. But for me, yes, they do.
How about people who say that, well, they need to do more? Because if you do more and it's felt, then you'd have more maybe representation there. These are conventions. And so therefore, when people feel that you're doing much more, then maybe they'll give you more room.
I think this one, it is not related to doing more or doing less. This one is coming as a result of the split. Primus. It's not about their performance, their dwindling performance that is actually causing that. That is no. The issue is about the demarcation. Now we have more municipalities. We have added more municipalities to KMA. And so if you calculate or you add maybe the representation that Nananom have in various assemblies within the Kumasi, then you appreciate that maybe the number will have even gone higher
because
they used to be. So it doesn't mean that because of their contribution. No, it is because of the split.
But again, they raise concerns that when it comes to people who are elected, there are about 40. The unelected ones are about 20. So that is why they're saying that they feel like, well, you feel our job or our role is not relevant anymore, and that is why the numbers are reducing. That is why I asked that question.
It has not reduced. It has actually increased. Because at first, KMA were controlling all these assemblies. And that time, they had 5. Now it has been splitted, reducing KMA electoral area. That is why in KMA alone, you seem to have been reduced. But if you compare what they used to have, KMA was controlling all these areas, then you can appreciate that it has actually gone up.
Well, how do you respond to concerns, for example, of Amakom Hene, who says that they also feel sidelined as chiefs? Because even sometimes when it comes to development, they are sidelined. They don't even know about things that are happening on their own stool lands. And projects are going on with that, they being aware.
Then what is the representation of the governor appointees who were selected from the traditional councils? What are they supposed to do? Who are they to report to? You understand? So they are representing them. It is expected of them to go back to them, to brief them about what happens at the assembly. On the floor of the assembly, what were the discussions that were made? What were the projects that were brought before the house? All this progressiveness in terms of development are made because the Executive Council reports to the General Assembly at every meeting. We have Executive Committee, and each Assembly member is a member of a committee, maybe 1 or 2 or 3. They cannot know whatever happens in all the committees, but Executive Committee reports on all the activities on the floor of General Assembly. So they have their response. If they are not doing it, I'll respectfully, ask that the appointees, from the traditional council go back to inform them what is happening at the assembly. And then, of course, the MC and other things also at times interact. So all this, what I'm trying to say is that if that is the perception that they are having, okay, then I plead, and if that is not happening, but I believe that there should be that kind of interaction, and I believe that some form of interaction are being done. As to whether it's enough is another thing, but I think that it can be done. The MC is very experienced now with his team and the assembly members. I believe that it could be put to right.
Well, so these new elected members of the various metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies, what advice would you give to them? Now they've been inaugurated, now they have work to do. What advice do you have for them?
Thank you. My advice to my fellow and my respected assembly members is that now the election is over. Now the campaign is over. Now the chants, they are all over. And all the mafia tactics that were involved are all over. It is part of the processes. It is part of politics. They are all over. We made promises to people, to our people. We told them what we'll be able to do for them. We assured them that we will serve them with all our heart and with all our might. The time has come. They are watching. They are expecting it. So, it is time for reflection, time of planning how to achieve all these things. Getting elected is one thing, and actually delivering is another. The assembly is a system. It doesn't run on one person. We need every hand on deck. We need to work together. We have to agree to disagree. And collectively, the good people of Kumasi are watching all of us. Posterity, obviously, will not judge us right if we don't do it right. And we believe that if we do it right, with commitment, with zeal, cooperation, we'll be able to achieve it. We are not here to fight MCE. We are not here to fight X, fight Y. When it comes to that, we cannot develop. We know, obviously, that this assembly concept on paper is not partisan. But we have been told by politicians that they were involved. And so some of them drove with political means to get elected. We should not be influenced by political dictations and dictates to our performance. Collectively, we can achieve, and Kumasi will be the beneficiary. May God bless us all, and may God grant them the needed wisdom, the wisdom that He gave to Solomon, so that we can discern, we can winnow the seeds from the chaff, so that we can be the best leaders at this time. Because who knows? It was not per chance. Maybe it is destiny, or maybe Almighty God chose us at this time of our history to do it.
Well, Mr. Kokru Amankwa, I'd like to say thank you very much. And you told me earlier that you have to rush to work. So we thank you very much for your time. We appreciate everything you shared with us this very morning. And enjoy the rest of the day, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. We're also grateful. His name is Mr. Kokru Amankwa. He is the General Secretary of NALAG, and NALAG is the National Association of Local Authorities of Ghana. Now, so the confusion that we all had, and of course the statement that was released by KMA last night has put a lot of concerns that many had to rest. Am I right in saying that, Nana?
Yes. I believe with a statement that has been released initially. I mean, there was I think it was totally misconstrued that Nananom were actually withdrawing the representatives of the KMA and of the local government, committees. But it has been cleared up, and I think people can now go to rest, and then we can now feel and then know that Nananom are still, part of us. They're still concerned, and it's a good thing that this actually came out, because there's a reverence for chieftaincy. There's a reverence for Nananom here in the Ashanti region. So it would have been a travesty if they were sidelined, or they were put on the periphery as they were complaining. So it's important that this has come out, and the KMA has also come to explain. So it will be important to involve them a lot more, because a lot of times we always sometimes complain about Nananom not involving themselves a lot more in developmental issues, in problems facing the city and whatnot. So if they come out with this concern, I believe it's about time that we give them enough empowerment, as it were, and then entrust them.
Because it would be sad if indeed it's true that they've been sidelined.
Yes, it'll be very sad
if they feel that their services are no more required. But again, when you listen to Nana Bantamahini, he makes mention of the fact that they have not taken an entrenched position. They're just asking what is due them. And so it told us that they were open for consultations and conversations. And of course, with all the explanation that has gone on, I'm sure that now everything is okay, and then they would work for Mother Ghana. And again, I like the advice, Mr. Kukro gave to the newly elected assembly members and all that. Let's activate the phone lines right now. 03220 83596 03220-83596. I'm sure that you've been following the conversation maybe since last night. What do you make of all that you've heard so far? Are you at rest now, knowing very well that nothing wrong or nothing untoward has really happened, and that everything is as it should be? Give us a call. Let's hear your thoughts on the issue. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes,
David
sir.
Akuetteh.
Yes, Christoph, how are you doing?
The Lord is my shepherd. Dave, yourself?
He's my shepherd as well. Christoph, you're on radio. Let's hear your thoughts on the issue.
Thank you, Dave. Dave, I think what the Nananom are saying is worthy to be said. Why? Because it seems like we've indeed arrogated too much power or power to the politicians, and they're abusing us and they're tormenting us. So I believe the chiefs, they have a say in the governance of this country and every part of Ghana. You know why the former mayor, Kojo Bonsu, was having problems with Mensia? It's because he wasn't trying to control to whatever Mensia was telling him. And so you see that he had a tough time. And so even in the Bible, those days, there was no politicians. It was chiefs and prophets who were ruling our nation and our system. And it was done well. So chiefs should be actively involved because they are wise, they have experience, they can blend it with our people, then they can bring total change, total liberation to our people as far as governance is concerned. So whatever they are saying is they should
thank you very much.
More representatives.
Thank you very much, Christoph. There. Let's speak to Mr. Boashi. Good morning.
Good morning, sir, Mr. David. Please, I want to just advise the Nananom not to disturb their heart about this busy for nothing people. They have nothing to offer. Are they talking about that Anisa State Assemblyman brought chair for the Asqua police station? That is the development they are talking about. They shouldn't disturb themselves with these people. They have nothing. What kind of development is coming? Nothing is coming. They have nothing, absolutely, to offer. They shouldn't disturb them. They should keep on ruling their way and let them share their money. Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Boash. But trust me, some of the assembly members are doing well, and that is why it's an election. So if at one point in time somebody's not doing well in your area, well, you can vote the person out in the next election. And there are even ways you can even write to the EC for if you, for example, don't trust your assemblyman that he or she is not doing well, you can go to the EC with some petition, and a re-election will be done, and that person will be done away with. So they are key to development in this very country. Let's speak to political thinker. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, David. I think we live in Ghana here, where things are in this array. But during this era, land cruisers and those V8 were bought for chiefs. So they the chiefs need to ask them that they need certain development, but they didn't think about that. But they just received it. So these politicians have already bought them. So if they want to take a decision, they know that there's no need to even consult them. So please, they must know that they are part of the development. So if a politician is bringing you something and you think that we have things that matter to our citizens, you have to be more concerned about that one first. Before you, because as a chief, you are about to serve the people. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, political thinker there. Let's now speak to George. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very well, George. Thanks for asking, sir.
This is my opinion too. It is now good that Nananum have spoken, because the politicians have taken Nananum for granted for so long. Where were the politicians when our colonial masters came and took the king Osei Tutu the First? Where were our politicians when Yasantua was fighting for Ashanti Kingdom? Where were the politicians where Tinubu Akuetteh sacrificed himself for Ashanti? And now look at what these politicians are doing. And they have even put in their constitution that chief doesn't have to mingle in their, their affairs. So it is good that Nananum have now spoken. If they know they cannot rule the nation, they should quit and give the nation to Nananum, because the politician came and met Ghana. MPP came and met Ghana. NDC met Ghana. So Nananum are right. They are coming to take the affairs of this nation, and it will be better for us.
Thank you very much, George, there. And Nananum have done enough. I mean, a lot for this very country, especially when there are disputes. They sit, they make sure that peace prevail. And so Nananum have done a lot, and they keep doing a lot for all of us. Stephen, good morning.
Hello, good morning, David. How are you doing?
I'm very well, Stephen.
I get the sense that Honorable Osei is getting himself into unnecessary troubles lately. Trust me, I have followed this whole thing since yesterday it came out, and then this morning. What I can pick from it is that he just failed to pre-inform the authorities, the Ashanti Council, Menchia, about whatever is going on, because it is not in the middle of a program that you try to explain to somebody you have invited to grace the occasion that, well, this is what has been done. There have been a subdivision in the metropolitan, so your number has reduced. What the statement is just explaining, it's come as an afterthought. I believe that you could have informed Asantuma Council Malaysia about how the assemblies are now operating, the numbers have been reduced, and then those arrangements prior to the inauguration yesterday. It's so embarrassing. It's not good. It's not giving a good image to himself, to the party, to the Asantuma. It appears that Asantuma is kind
so
of...
Stephen, you are right. Stephen, you are right in many ways. And indeed, when I was speaking to some people yesterday from, for example, a former NALAC General Secretary, one of the things Stephen he mentioned was the fact that they should have informed Nananom that, listen, the representation has not reduced. It's because of the new municipalities that has been created. You realize that we have traditional leaders at the various municipalities, so it has not reduced. Indeed, it has increased. But you cannot come and say that it was an afterthought, because that is what is on the ground. Stephen, we appreciate the call. Let me speak to Kwame. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, David. David, I don't think anybody has taken away powers from Nananom. They have failed to manage the powers given to them the way they should do. Nobody has taken away their power. Yesterday, we were talking about roads in Kumasi. What is preventing Asantuma Council for having a road fund so that we can also build Ashanti roads and then tow them? Why can't they do that? Nobody has taken away their power. They have been selling land left, right, center.
It is not against them. There's nothing wrong if they sell lands. I mean, they own the lands and they sell lands. I mean, so I don't see anything wrong with that very well. Thank you very much, Kwame, for the call. Bempa, good morning, sir. Hello, Bempa.
Hello, Dave.
Yes, good morning, Bempa. You're on radio. Let's hear your thoughts on the issue, sir.
Dave, I want to ask, how did we come to this? Some of the callers have already said Nananom were in power before the politicians came. It's true. But why? Why now? Because some of our chiefs are in bed with some politicians. And for that matter, the so-called prophets and pastors are around in bed with some politicians. So, if some chiefs or our chiefs want to show their powers, the politician knows that, this Nananom there, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. So it's very, very sad. Nananom should stand up. They should stand up. This is the right time. This is the right time for Nananom to do away with politicians and show them that they were there before the politicians. Without that,
well, thank you very much, Bempa. And it's 3 minutes past 8. We thank all of you for doing the listening. And of course, those of you called into the show, we're grateful. We can pick any more calls right now. But have you heard of prices going down? Certainly not. I have not. Because what I know is that prices always keep going up. Transportation goes up, rent goes up, electricity goes up. Now, you name it, everything goes up here in Ghana. But there's one good news for all of us. Now, our favorite Ideal Milk has reduced prices to 3 Ghana cedis per. Unbelievable, you think? Well, that's what it is. It's unbelievable. Because it is so brutal. Your number one choice of milk is now more affordable than ever. So go ahead, enjoy your breakfast with your affordable Ideal Milk. Let's try breakfast, no pepe. Add Ideal, Ghana's favorite milk, to your beverages, to your porridge, to your cereals, and of course to your Gary soakings, and enjoy. Because your so 3 Ghana cedis, everybody can afford. Let me tell you about Makion Restaurant. Now, when it comes to good food, good environment, tasty, appetizing, of course, finger-licking food, only one name comes to mind. For me, it is Makion Restaurant, and I know it is for you as well. Makion Restaurant has become a household name because we have given to the people of Kumasi undoubtedly the very best when it comes to food. Makion Restaurant serves the very best breakfast in town. Makion Restaurant also serves local, continental, and Chinese food. Now, that's new, if you come to Makion as a family of 5 or more, and you want to enjoy free drinks, and you will get discounts, on all that you buy from them, especially when you want to enjoy your sumptuous meals there. Again, when you come to Makion Restaurant and you want to celebrate your birthday there, well, this season, you can enjoy a whopping discounts on the meals and cakes that will be served you if you come in there to celebrate your birthday. You can enjoy all these whilst you watch your favorite DSTV programs. Locate Makion Restaurant at Masokwa inside Makion Temple. And for reservations, you can call 0244 417 446. Now, for sumptuous meals for your wedding reception, your funerals, and all your occasions, just call 0244 417 446. Makion Restaurant, a taste you can trust. Now, let's talk about Frytol. The mouth-watering fragrance of Lily long-grained rice is irresistible and keeps attracting neighbors when you cook it. I'm talking about Lily rice here. I love Lily. There's no rice I would eat if it's not Lily. I will not eat any rice. Now, most families in Ghana use Lily long-grained rice for all their rice dishes because it's tasty and the texture is unbeatable. Lily rice is the chef's choice simply because rice grains remain separated and fluffy, making it versatile for any rice dish you can imagine. So the favorite, Ghana jollof, for example, from your favorite restaurant, and of course your Sunday mutu from your favorite choba can, be made from Lily rice. And indeed, most of them use Lily rice in preparing their mutu. Lily rice comes in different sizes and is available in a shop or a supermarket near you. Now, when deciding on which rice to choose from, especially when you're going to the market this very weekend, make sure you choose Lily. Lily, tasty food, happy family.
Walk, walk, walk. Walk, 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 walk. Walk, 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 walk. Walk. Love Fitness Walk. Walk. Love Fitness Walk. Walk. Love Fitness Walk. Walk. Love Fitness Walk. Walk. Love Fitness.